Welcome to the Lila Astrology channel. My name is Dabney and I am an evolutionary astrologer. And today we are going to be talking about what is evolutionary astrology. We're going to be talking about how to prepare for this shifting energy of 2025. And we're going to be talking about Pluto finally leaving Capricorn. So if this is content you're interested in, I do hope you stick around. Okay, fellow stargazers, what a week. So let's start with where we're at. Where we're at is that astrology is a series of energies. We are all energy. And I believe that the planets guide us and give us opportunities for growth. So when I say I'm an evolutionary astrologer, I know a lot of you ask, what does that actually mean? So here's what it means to me. And I often say, oh, I work with the nodes and I work with Pluto. Okay, but beyond that, the deeper meaning, what is evolutionary astrology? So for me, and the way I was taught by Steven Forrest, is that we all have choices in this world. It's not easy, but we can take opportunities that are given to us and we can learn and grow from them and live a happier, more peaceful life. Or we can succumb to the harder version. So all throughout our lives, individually and collectively, we have transits to our natal chart. So where the planets are in your chart really help tell a story of what you're here to do and who you are and how your soul can express itself in this lifetime. It's a map of your highest self. It's also a map of what it looks like when you get things wrong. And the transits come along and they give us opportunities to learn things. And they give us opportunities to step into that higher self. You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. As humans, unfortunately, the way we are hardwired, and throughout thousands of years of evolution, sometimes we don't exactly choose the right path. And we see that in ourselves and others often. So when I do a more predictive astrology reading, I tend to look at things through my own lens of optimism and hope and wanting other people to choose the higher road. Really, I believe, maybe erroneously, that things can get better. But there was a book that came out last year that really illustrated the whole premise of the book was that you don't have free will, that there are chemical reactions in your brain that have to do with how you were raised and your biology and the circumstances in which you find yourself, in which we are automatic creatures. We do what we are hardwired to do. And so evolutionary astrology basically says that doesn't have to be the case. That is most likely the case, but consciousness can pull you out of that hard wiring. Consciousness is really, really hard. So the planetary energies right now are that of tremendous shift and change can make people fearful. And oftentimes when people are afraid, they choose the path of least resistance. So I just want to put that out there, that I genuinely believe that there were two opportunities this week, but a path has been chosen. And I do believe that this is bigger than us. And I have to reflect on my own choices and my own growth and where I go from here. And I need and encourage, I encourage all of you to recognize where you have grown, where there is opportunities for you in this next phase when things shift over, what's coming, and how we can step into our personal highest self. What are the lessons that we are here individually to learn to benefit the collective? So I know that sounds a little arbitrary and lofty, but I just want to say that that's what evolutionary astrology is. Evolutionary astrology is a choice. It's a hard choice, and it is one that often when we are caught in our own unconscious, we cannot see what we are doing. But that's where we have to pull ourselves out. We have to do the hard work and make conscious choices to make changes, to step into the higher energy. This was always a choice. A path has been chosen. This was always bigger than us. But individually, you can understand where you have grown. Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, and we've talked a lot about what that meant collectively, and the exposing corruption and the financial crisis. I'm not going to reiterate and go down that path again, but I don't think we've talked much about what it means individually. And individually, we've all been working on Pluto and Capricorn in our own charts. So where has Capricorn been for you? What house has Capricorn been in? So this is something that I'm considering doing, either a class or a live stream. If that is of interest to anyone, please comment below. But helping you find out where Pluto and Capricorn has been for you over the past, whatever it's been since 2008. And what lessons have you integrated? Where has your life changed? How have you changed? So, for example, if Pluto went through your 5th house, did you write a book? Did you have a child or struggle with having a child? If Pluto went through your 7th house, did you get a divorce? Did you find the love of your life? There's all sorts of things that have happened since 2008 in your individual life. Have you survived cancer, right? So reflect on the things that you've accomplished and integrate the lessons that Capricorn was here to teach us. Because Capricorn was here to teach us individually where we had to grow up, where we had to rely on ourselves a little bit, where we had to do some hard work, where maybe things had to change and we had to see where we were getting it wrong. So there's an opportunity here to reflect on how you've come a really long way, because Pluto's going to go into Aquarius on November 19th. So while I'm not happy about where we're going there. It is uncharted territory. Pluto in Aquarius, the high road really had to do with, and here's the thing, it's not Pluto in Aquarius yet. Pluto in Aquarius comes in a couple weeks. And will we feel an immediate shift? Probably somewhat a shift in energy, but it's it's going to be there for 20 years. There's going to be a whole bunch of lessons that are going to unfold for all of us. And we're going to have Neptune moving into Aries. I'm going to do a whole 2025 video, probably a series of them. So lots and lots of stuff coming, but Neptune's going to go into Aries. And then we're going to have Saturn moving into Aries and Jupiter moving into Cancer. And, I plan on being with you every step of the way to share with you what the high road is and how to avoid the low road. Because the more of us that do our own work of stepping into the high road in our personal lives, that is how we're going to get through this time and hopefully impact the collective. So now, how do we prepare? Because like I've said, and a lot of astrologers have said, 2025 ushers in change and things will start to accelerate. I think you've heard that from lots of people. And I think what that means is there's been this feeling of stuckness. I am actually feeling less stuck. Kind of like, okay, a path has been chosen. I'm not feeling optimistic or hopeful, but I am understanding a little bit more what my mission is. At the end of the day, we all have to get up and find meaning in our in our world. Like, life is not easy. Life is suffering. You know, the Holocaust happened. The killing fields happened. Rwanda happened. What's happening in Gaza is happening. So climate change is real. It's all happening. So how do we live our lives in the midst of knowing these things, knowing that we're in for some big, big changes? Part of, sorry if there's a plane going overhead. It might be loud. I picked this place because there's usually beautiful birds here. Like right before I started this video, there was this beautiful snowy egret looking thing that just flew right past. So, you know, I love coming here out in nature. It is incredibly healing for me, and I imagine it is for many of you as well. So, okay, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I got distracted by the plane. Okay. Preparing. I think that's what I was talking about. Preparing for 2025 and the upcoming changes. And what I think is the best thing that you personally and I personally can do. Oh, there's a little birdie in the background. Look at your chart. Look at your natal chart and see, where's your North Node? What house is it in? What sign is it in? Anyone who gets a reading from me knows that I always recommend a book by a woman named Jan Spiller, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, but it's called Astrology for the Soul. And it is it's a really good book for getting to the root of what your North Node is all about. And it's a really nice kind of shorthand. You don't have to be, you know, an advanced astrologer. It's kind of a beginner book. It doesn't read like a textbook. And I really like that, because who has time for textbooks? Okay. Also, one of my teachers is Anne Ortley. And Anne Ortley is the only astrologer I've heard talking about this, but because I love her so dearly and I've learned so much from her, I'm going to share that here. There's something called a draconic chart, which is your soul's mission, not just in the North Node. So this is kind of like another layer of what you can reflect on, what you're here to do. And it is your soul's chart. So you can go to astro.com and pull up a draconic chart. So like kind of like Dracula. And you know, if you have an astrologer friend, or if you want to download my beginner astrology book, you can just go to lawlessastrology.com and, you know, enter your email. I'll send you this, you know, beginner book. Anyway, the point being, you're here to do something. And, you know, maybe just tune in, maybe meditate, take a walk in nature. Some of us are here to fight. Some of us, you know, what are your gifts? What are your individual gifts? What is your higher self telling you need to do in the next year to be authentically real to yourself and not coming from a place of woundedness or pain? I've been fighting pretty hard for 9 years, and I had to get real with myself. And I think that's part of my lesson, because Pluto and Capricorn has been in my first house. And I've had to get real with myself about what am I here to do. And I was at an astrology conference, and someone said to me, hi, Robert. He said, you are an inspirational force. And I loved that. I don't know that I'm here to fight anymore. I think that comes from a place of woundedness and pain. I think I'm here to inspire people. And that's where I'm going to find meaning. I am here now and recognizing how much I've given my power away to other people. And I need to take that power back and take care of myself and my family and be realistic, but inspire other people and support other people through inspiration and hope. So I'm not going to stop doing that. That's I think what I'm here to do. So what are you here to do? This is the time to take stock of who you really are, not from a place of woundedness, but a place of empowerment. Pluto empowers you, strengthens you. Sometimes it strengthens you, you know, it's the adage, like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What didn't kill you? What made you stronger? Who are you? What are you here to give back to the world? Astrology is a great tool to figure that out. Take stock right now. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. These are all important things that I want you to focus on between now and January. Really prepare yourself for how you want to be in the next year when the world outside may be chaotic and changing. I believe when people say they're going to do something, that they're going to probably do it. We're probably going to leave NATO. It's probably going to happen. We're probably going to deport people that are either loved ones or connected to people that we love in some way. These things are probably going to happen. Where are you going to be in all of this? What is your role? Are you someone who's a fighter? Are you someone who's a healer? Are you somebody who makes the most amazing pies and you are going to bake pies for everyone you know that is struggling? Do you have financial resources that you can use to help? Is that part of your mission? Not an obligation, but a mission. So really looking at this time and getting clear on how you want to thrive when changes come. And knowing that everything is bigger than us. A path has been chosen and there's forces at play that are bigger than us. But we individually can make the high road decisions in our life. We can choose positive energies. I don't believe so when someone wins an election and they are mad and gloating and hateful, and then when they lose an election they're mad and tantrumy, and then when they win they're gloaty and hateful, that tells me that person isn't very conscious and doesn't really have a sense of their own power or happiness. We can be happy. We can create our world. We all are doing that every day. That's how this happened. People create what they want to see. I personally want to see love. I personally want to be around people that have kindness in their hearts. I personally have seen that Pluto going through Capricorn for me has meant that I found the love of my life and I had a child and I have a beautiful home and I had a successful career. And now I'm at peace with my parents despite some pretty challenging circumstances. And I have created, in a matter of a few months, a YouTube channel that has thousands of people who are supportive of me. That doesn't happen because I chose the lower energies or the low road. I worked hard to get here. Doesn't mean I didn't make mistakes. But take stock in what you've accomplished and take stock in what you can accomplish despite challenges outside your door. Because the more that you do the work on yourself, you create a happier life for yourself. You can feel empowered. You can feel at peace, even when everything around you feels unsteady and unsafe. You know, they always say, look for the helpers. Be a helper. Don't sacrifice yourself, but live the life that you want others to be living. Create the world that you want to see. I'm sad more people didn't see the potential of Pluto and Aquarius the way I saw it. Now we're going to have a different path of Pluto and Aquarius. It may have always been this way, and maybe I couldn't see it because, again, I'm an optimist. There will be beauty, no matter what. Over the next 4 years, there will be beauty. There will be hummingbirds and butterflies, and we just don't know what's coming. We don't know why things are happening the way they are. I can tell you, I will be right there with you explaining the energetics of how we can step into a higher path, or what it looks like when we get it wrong. Neptune in Aries, hate to break it to you, but if you haven't been watching any other astrologers, the truth of the matter is the US always goes to war when Neptune is in Aries. It's kind of like clockwork. That was the last, it was the Civil War. So, does that mean we'll have a civil war? Maybe, not necessarily, but the energy is there that the high road to me with Neptune in Aries, and we'll talk more about this, is people wake up. Neptune in Pisces has been delusion, the fake news, not knowing what's real and what isn't real, having your own reality that is devoid from other people's reality. That's very Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Aries, sand is going to be wiped out of people's eyes because consequences will be here. And so, do we take up arms? Do we join together and say this isn't what we want? We'll see. Uranus and Gemini, whew, it's another one where we've had some big changes. Another one, we have a Uranus return. The Revolutionary War was during the Uranus in this sign. So lots of new ideas. We just don't know what's going to emerge, but I guarantee you life is always trying to find balance. So there's a backlash to everything. Sadly, I think even like the Me Too movement, that saw the rise of this kind of misogynistic bro culture that then really fed into what we're seeing now. So, don't want to be preachy. Just want to say, I think the best thing that you can do between now and January is take stock of where you've come with Pluto and Capricorn. Look at your North Node. Look at your draconic chart. Let me know what questions you have. But settle into where you think you belong. What is it you want to become and do? Life is short. Life is short. It can be painful, but it can be joyous. So where do you want to make a change and get ready for that change? This is the time to prepare. We're going to have Mercury and Mars in retrograde. There's opportunities to take a step back and really think over where you want to move forward next year. Because once it's here, it's here. We're in it, and you're going to be doing. Okay? So I hope that clears things up a little bit from the evolutionary astrology perspective. The big takeaway here is that it's all a choice. We can choose the high road or we can choose the low road. And oftentimes when the low road is chosen, it's a bit of an unconscious choice. We don't know what we're doing. We don't realize that we had another option. So, like, subscribe, share. Thank you all for all of your kindness and support. I do know that there are people out there that do not share my views, and that's okay. I am going to still continue to work on being an inspirational force for other people. I'm a little tired. I'm quite disheartened. I don't think my path is to be an activist any longer or to fight in the way that other people may be called to fight right now. Like, I have a friend, she packed her bags and is moving to DC between now and the end of January or the beginning of January to affect change. That is her calling, and she knows that in her heart. What's in your heart? Right? What's in my heart is that I'm going to keep doing this. And I hope it's helpful. I really sincerely hope that it is helpful and inspirational and gives you some hope to carry on. And I'm going to hopefully help you make the right choices in your life for you. Give you the options of the high road and the low road with planetary energies, because that's what it's all about in the way that I find meaning in life. How do you find meaning in life? Examine that. Figure out what your role is going to be in this next chapter. So, As always, there is a reason and a season. The universe is conspiring to help us, whether we understand it or not, and we can actively participate in making things better, choosing love, choosing the higher path for ourselves. At the end of the day, we can only control ourselves. So thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for helping me build this community. As you can imagine, I did lose a lot of subscribers over the past few days, and that's okay. That's 100% okay. But I hope that you share this with other people, and I would love it if you comment below if you think that you're interested in learning a little bit more about where Capricorn was for you since 2008, and what are the lessons that you've integrated and what are the lessons you can integrate as we kind of settle into something new. Or also send me, put a comment if you think that you'd be interested in learning more about the nodes. And because I'm trying to think, do I do a live stream? Do I do a class? Even if I do a class, it would be very inexpensive. So I'd love any feedback that you have about that, because this is a new journey for me. I've been an astrologer for a long time, but I've not been public like this. And I've got to figure out where I go from here, just like you all. So blessings, and thank you for your time and support. Till next time.